What if you had the chance to escape the problems of modern life and start over in the past? What if the world everyone romanticized, simpler, quieter, and more perfect, turned out to be far more difficult than anyone expected? Yesteryear is a fascinating blend of science fiction, historical fiction, and emotional self-discovery that explores what happens when people are forced to confront the reality behind their fantasies. The story takes place in a future where society has become deeply dependent on technology. Life is fast, digital, and emotionally disconnected. In response, a group of people chooses something radical. They volunteer to travel back in time and permanently live in the 1800s, believing life was better, simpler, and more meaningful back then. At the center of the story is Danny, a teenager who joins the time travel mission with his family. Like many people around him, Danny has grown up hearing stories about how wonderful the past was compared to the stressful, technology-driven world of the future. At first, the idea feels exciting, a fresh start, a peaceful life, a chance to live more authentically. But once Danny and the others arrive in the past, reality hits much harder than expected. The comforts of modern life disappear almost instantly. There's no advanced medicine, no modern convenience, no easy communication, and no safety net. Daily survival becomes physically exhausting. Simple tasks require intense labor, and the romantic image people had of the past slowly begins to fall apart. One of the most powerful aspects of Yesteryear is how honestly it explores the gap between fantasy and reality. The characters quickly realize that many of the things they took for granted in modern life, healthcare, equality, comfort, and personal freedom, were incredibly rare or non-existent in earlier centuries. Danny's journey becomes much more than a physical adventure through time. It becomes an emotional and psychological awakening. He starts questioning not only the mission itself, but also the assumptions people make about happiness, progress, and the good old days. The novel also explores themes of family, identity, resilience, and adaptation. Danny struggles to figure out where he belongs in this unfamiliar world. He faces difficult choices, emotional conflicts, and growing responsibilities that force him to mature quickly. Another major strength of the story is its realism. Rather than presenting the past as magical or idealized, the book shows the harsh realities of survival during that time period. Life in the 1800s required constant hard work, sacrifice, and endurance. Disease, inequality, and isolation were part of everyday life. This realistic portrayal gives the story emotional depth and makes the characters' struggles feel meaningful. At the same time, Yesteryear also captures moments of beauty and human connection. Even in difficult circumstances, the characters build relationships, discover inner strength, and learn to appreciate the small things that truly matter. The contrast between the future and the past creates one of the novel's most interesting questions. Does technology make life worse or better? The story doesn't offer simple answers. Instead, it encourages listeners to think critically about both progress and nostalgia. Another important theme is perspective. Many characters initially believe happiness can be found simply by escaping modern problems, but over time they realize that every era comes with its own struggles. There is no perfect time period, no perfect society, and no perfect life. What truly matters is how people adapt, connect, and support one another. Danny's emotional growth throughout the story is especially compelling. He begins as someone uncertain about himself and the world around him, but his experiences gradually shape him into someone stronger, wiser, and more thoughtful. The pacing of the novel balances emotional moments with suspense, survival challenges, and personal discovery. As tensions rise within the group and reality becomes increasingly difficult, the story keeps listeners emotionally invested in what will happen next. Without revealing too much, the novel builds toward powerful realizations about human nature, resilience, and the complicated relationship people have with the past. What makes Yesteryear especially memorable is that it combines exciting science fiction concepts with deeply human emotions. The time travel element may draw listeners in, but the emotional journey is what truly stays with them. At its heart, this story reminds us that every generation believes another time was somehow easier or better, but real life has always been complicated. Growth, happiness, and meaning don't come from escaping challenges. They come from learning how to face them. The novel also reminds us to appreciate the present. Modern life may not be perfect, but many of the freedoms, opportunities, and comforts we have today were earned through generations of struggle and progress. Whether you enjoy time travel stories, historical fiction, emotional coming-of-age journeys, or thought-provoking science fiction, Yesteryear offers a unique and unforgettable experience. It's emotional, intelligent, immersive, and full of important questions that stay with you long after the story ends. So if you're ready for a journey through time filled with survival, self-discovery, and powerful life lessons, go ahead, find the full audiobook, press play, and experience Yesteryear for yourself.